On the Bright Side is brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
And we have some cancers that's really presenting us with some vexing situations.
You're fine.
Kristen Andrews is 13 years old. He has a big dream of one day becoming an architect and an engineer. But with a story like Kristen's, no dream is too big, having fought and won a battle with leukemia only less than a year ago. He was 10 when he was diagnosed. That's an age where he should have been playing video games or romping with friends. Instead, he was in Mexico fighting for his life.
Painful. Painful, I can't scary. The first time I heard the treatment, the first time I got Mexico, they do a needle side right side off it, take out bone marrow. It was painful because I had a tumor on my chest. So they couldn't put me to sleep, so it was really painful. My father said the needle was the size of a cow needle, and then it big. So I never know how big needle, but my father told me I'm a two.
It's an emotional moment for a father and his son. But with his dad at his side, Kristen knows he can take on anything.
When the Cancer Society was established, it was thought that, Belize, we don't have people with cancer. Many years later, when I was teaching at the School of Nursing, we conducted a CAP survey, knowledge, attitude, and practice. And we found that every family either had or knew someone with cancer. Well, now it's established that cancer is one of our leading causes of morbidity, sickness, and death.
According to the World Health Organization, Belize recorded 395 new cases of cancer in 2020. This was also during the height of COVID-19, a worldwide pandemic. While the types of cancer vary, breast cancer continues to plague our society. 86 new cases were recorded in 2020. It's 21% of the total number for that year alone. Delon Pascasio is the CEO of the Belize Cancer Center. Since 2008, the Cancer Center has offered chemotherapy treatment to patients. Pascasio says that before then, cancer care was considered cross-border care.
If you didn't have money, then you're kind of out of luck. So that was the reason why Dr. Grant and I agreed to bring those services, at least the chemotherapy service, and establish a referral service for those patients, mostly those patients that were financially indigent.
There were people with cancers that I thought were curable who were dying senselessly just because they didn't have access to care. And in opening the cancer center, that provided a means of access and opened a door that was inaccessible for many Belizeans.
Countries where patients have treatment for cancer delayed, they have higher rates of morbidity and mortality. And it's a human rights issue, isn't it? You should be able to get cancer care regardless of your economic status. It's expensive, and there's no denying it. Nobody's denying that. But how do we get around it? And so that's where the conversation is for us. It becomes really dramatic, because is it the government? Is it or if you don't have the funds, do you die?
The Belize Cancer Society and the Belize Cancer Center have recently formulated a partnership that benefits cancer patients primarily. Where access to treatment was once only accessible at the Cancer Center's location in Dangriga, they now have a satellite office in Belize City, on-site and supported by the Belize Cancer Society. Nurse Prosper Fijo is a familiar face at the Dangriga Cancer Center, but today we saw him in Belize City.
Our job is to make the patient feel as comfortable as possible. We try to set up a situation where, them looking for the finances and the funds is not the priority to their care. the role of the nurse is also the role of an advocate and is also the role of a counselor. So it's our job to elicit some of the behind the scenes, issues that a person may carry. Sometimes the road to recovery is not just all about getting treatment. There are other psychological issues that can exacerbate a person's condition. And this is where your nurse becomes your friend. We become your immediate family.
And one family member who won't be seeing the famous recliner anymore came all dressed up for her last treatment. Accompanied by family and close friends, Marlon Dawson is dressed in clothing she designed specifically for this day. The theme for her attire is blue, for colon cancer. And one special item that was added to the celebration signifies the fight is over. If you use it, you've won.
So I have my bell, and my bell symbolizes the different type of cancer that exists. Each color is different for cancer people. So ringing the bell is my strength and also the focus. Thank you. And encouragement for others that the journey you're going through, it would be over. Won't last long. I took my 8th chemo, and finally the day has reached that I'm through it.
On behalf of every stakeholder, we want to present this little token. This is a certificate. It reads that you have completed your chemotherapy, and more than anything else, it said you are moving forward on your journey to being cancer survivor. Bravo! And so we want to hand this over, and then at this time, please, as loud as you can, ring your bell and make the loudest noise.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabreena Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
That's the sound of fuel efficiency. Every day, every time, I choose Uno Fuels, powered with Dynamax. Uno, a brand committed with the future.